For many people, mining and combat in Stardew Valley can be extremely daunting and terrifying. What begins as a simple rock bashing exercise can quickly turn into a harrowing, life-threatening horror game if you're not careful. I'm Mo, and you might already be familiar with my relaxed Stardew guide, where I cover how to play the first year in Stardew Valley in a stress-free and chilled way. In this video, I'm going to take that same approach, but apply it to mining and combat. I'll cover the Pelican Town and Quarry Mines, the Skull Caverns, and the Volcano Dungeon. I won't be delving into the details of every floor, each mineral, artifact, enemy or rock you're going to come across. I'm also not going to tell you how to be as efficient as possible. If you want guides like that, YouTube is full of them, and they're all brilliant. Instead, my goal here is to help you explore these various places in the most relaxed way possible. Sometimes that will go hand in hand with being efficient, and other times it will be the opposite. By the end of this video, you'll have everything you need to mine and fight your way through the underground without needing to break a sweat. Alright, enough chatter, let's get mining. You won't be able to go into the mines for the first 4 days in the game, but that doesn't mean you need to be idle when it comes to progressing your mining skill. Any rocks you break outside of the mines will give you at least 1 mining XP, and more if they contain coal or ores. So by breaking rocks on your farm and around Pelican Town, you can slowly increase your mining level while you wait for the mines to open on day 5. You can speed this up further if you choose the hilltop farm layout, as there is a dedicated mini quarry there that can spawn rocks and nodes each day. If you're just starting out the game for the first time and you want to build your forever farm, I wouldn't recommend the hilltop farm layout. But if you just want a small sandbox farm to practice mining and combat, then it's a good one to pick. As you level up your mining skill, you will gain pickaxe proficiency. This refers to how much energy you expend when using the pickaxe. The more energy you use, the more food you'll need to keep going, or, failing to eat, the sooner you'll have to stop mining, lest you collapse of exhaustion. When you're more proficient with the pickaxe, you'll use less energy each time you strike a rock, so if you want less stress when mining, it's a good idea to focus on leveling up your mining skill. Come day 5, you'll finally be able to enter the mines, and when you do so, you'll be greeted by Marlin, who will give you a rusty sword and tell you about the monsters that dwell below. Thus begins your combat journey. As mining and combat are 2 very different skills, I'll tackle them somewhat separately at first. Let's start with mining. In the mines, not all rocks will give you XP. Unlike outside of the mines, the standard grey rocks here will only give you XP if they contain coal or ores inside. So if you're looking to increase your mining skill quickly, try to focus on ores at first, or these dark grey rocks which give you at least 3 XP each. If you want to just destroy every rock you see, however, go for it. You'll still get stone and possibly find a way down to the next level. With regards to going further down the mines, remember that this isn't a race. You're here because you want a stress-free mining experience, so let go of the need to reach the bottom of the mines as soon as possible. Instead, focus on breaking rocks, gaining ores, artifacts and other things. If anything, try to tackle the mines 5 floors at a time. Every 5 floors of the Pelican Town mine unlocks an elevator, so you can instant travel to that floor faster next time. But don't worry if you don't make the elevator floor. It's better to leave the mines with your life intact rather than die or collapse and lose some potentially valuable resources or money. You can always come back the next day and try again. After all, even if you have to go through the same floors again, you can still keep getting more loot and keep gaining XP. So it's no loss really. Once you stop worrying about needing to get to the bottom quickly, the whole experience is far more relaxing. When you're mining, you're obviously going to be picking up a lot of resources, but when you first start the game, you have a very limited inventory. To get around this limitation, it's a good idea to build a chest and place it at the entrance to the mines. You can use it to store equipment you're not using, and the resources you collect when your inventory gets full. To build a chest, you'll need 50 wood. In the few days before the mines open, you should easily be able to obtain the wood you need to do this from the trees on your farm. Once you have enough wood, go to your crafting menu and click on the wooden chest. You can then place this down anywhere near the entrance to the mines. As you mine, you'll come across various ores. At the very start, the one you'll find most frequently is copper. After you mine copper for the first time, Clint will give you a recipe to build a furnace. You'll need to gather 25 stone and 20 copper ores to craft the furnace, but doing so opens up a world of possibilities. You see, with the furnace, you can turn your metal ores into bars, and using these bars, you can craft all kinds of awesome things. It takes 5 copper ores and 1 coal to smelt a copper bar. Depending on which ore you want to smelt, will alter the number you need and the time it takes. Generally though, with the main metals, that's copper, iron, gold and iridium, it's 5 ores to 1 coal. The more valuable the metal, the longer it takes to smelt. For example, the copper bar takes only 30 in-game minutes to smelt, whereas the iridium bar takes 8 in-game hours. Now I don't want to overwhelm you with a giant list of everything you can make with metal bars, but if you're looking for something to work towards, especially as you're focusing on mining, think about upgrading your pickaxe. An improved pickaxe makes it easier to break rocks as well as allowing you to break harder rocks later on in the game. I mentioned before how leveling up your mining skill improves your pickaxe efficiency, meaning you use less energy per swing. A better pickaxe means less swings per rock. Put the two together, and by the time you're rocking a gold pickaxe at level 8 mining, you'll be able to mine for hours before you need to eat anything. The various pickaxe upgrades are copper, steel, gold and iridium. To upgrade your pickaxe, you will need to take 5 copper bars and 2,000 gold to Clint. Clint will keep your pickaxe for a couple of days to upgrade it, so remember to factor in that you won't be able to mine again until it's ready. 25 copper ores and 5 coal to make 5 copper bars, plus an additional 2,000 gold might seem impossible during the early stages of the game. But I promise you that as you continue to explore the mines, especially on days where you have good luck, you will find plenty of copper and coal. Speaking of luck, let's talk about how that affects your mining. Each day when you wake up, you can watch the television to discover your daily fortune. This will tell you how much luck you have for the day. It can be negative on a bad luck day, or positive on a good luck day. If this is new information for you and you want to know more about the game basics and how to get started with Stardew Valley, then may I suggest my relaxed guide to your first year in Stardew, which you can find linked in the top right corner now. So how exactly does luck affect your mining? On a good luck day, you're going to find ladders leading further down into the mines a lot easier. You're also going to get a higher chance of rocks giving you geodes or coal. If you're not familiar with geodes, these are mineral deposits found in the mines that contain resources or artifacts. Take geodes over to Clint to have them broken apart for 25 gold each. Luck doesn't affect what's inside a geode, however, so if someone tells you, wait for a good luck day to open geodes, you can tell them Mo says no. One of the most stressful things about mining is watching the clock. It's often a race to get out of the mines and back home by the 2 AM deadline, lest you collapse on your way home and incur a financial penalty for doing so. There are a couple of ways around that you should look into. Firstly are the mine carts. If you're serious about getting your mining skill up and don't want to be stressed out, try and complete the Boiler Room bundle in the community centre, or purchase the minecarts from the Joja Mart, whichever is your preferred choice of playstyle. There is no judgment here. The minecarts will allow you to fast travel to the mines from the bus stop, considerably reducing the time it takes to get home, meaning you can stay out mining for longer. The second thing to help reduce the time stress is a farm warp totem. The farm totem allows you to warp to your farm from anywhere in the game instantly. You can get the recipe for this once you reach foraging level 8. You can also find them in mystery boxes or as rewards for donating 80 items to the museum. Unfortunately, neither of these things are something you can get early on in the game, but they are certainly things you should look at investing some time and effort into obtaining if you want to make your overall mining experience easier. Remember that the Pelican Town mines are only the start of your mining adventure. Before you unlock these items, however, if you still want to make sure that you get home on time, a general rule of thumb is when the clock strikes 12, it's time to get out. Another area that can be unlocked by completing the Crafts Room bundle in the community centre or purchasing the bridge from the Joja Mart is the Quarry. The quarry has a host of rocks that can be generated each day, provided there's space, so it's a good idea to keep this area mined frequently. You'll not only find a host of resources here, but also another mine for you to explore. This mine has only one level that is pretty long. It's well worth going into though, because at the end there is an awesome reward. Finally, to round up this basic intro to mining, I'll quickly talk about your skill perks. When you reach levels 5 and 10 in any skill, you can select a skill perk. The perk you choose at level 5 will determine which choices you have open to you at level 10. Now I won't tell you what you should choose, as it all depends on how you want to play the game. On the screen, however, you can see the progression line. You can also read this on the Stardew Wiki, which I have linked in the description below. Right, let's get into combat. The first thing you're going to notice when you start fighting creatures is that you get a health bar next to your energy bar. Swinging your sword doesn't use any energy. Technically, you can fight creatures all day long without needing to eat anything. However, when you get hit, your health or HP goes down and you'll need to eat food to boost this up again. You'll notice that different foods provide you with varying amounts of energy and health. Some foods are better for health and others are better for energy. Early on in the game, you should take any forageable items you come across into the mines with you to recover your health and energy. Later on, when you have some money, you can buy food from Gus at the saloon. I personally like to stock up on a few salads when I have the money, just so I'm not having to worry about finding food on my way to the mines. Each creature varies in its difficulty and moves, and when you first start combat, it's going to be tricky. Some of the monsters you're going to find in the early levels of the mines are slimes and bugs. When you kill a creature, it has a chance to drop various items. For example, a bug can drop bug meat, but also has a chance to drop various artifacts, and later on, some precious gems. Despite what some people may claim, your daily luck has absolutely no effect on either the number of monsters you come across or what they drop. So if you think about waiting for a good luck day to slay some creatures in the hope that you'll get some good loot, think again. Let's talk a little bit about the attack actions in the game. Your primary button will trigger a slash attack, your standard attack. Your secondary button acts as a block. I've played hundreds of hours in this game before using the block for the first time, and let me tell you, it's brilliant. When a slime jumps towards you or a bat swoops down on you, the block is the fastest way to push them back and also deal some damage to them whilst also saving yourself. Practice using it so that you can wield it effectively. It will save your life, trust me. You should carefully watch each enemy and see how they approach you and attack. Avoid Leroy Jenkinsing your way into combat and instead take your time to see when to hit and also when to run. There's no shame in running. Better to come back later and fight when you have more health than risking it all for a lucky swing. I mentioned slimes and bugs earlier as examples of some of the creatures you can expect to encounter early in the game. But these two creatures are also a gateway to some really useful items. After you reach level 5 in the mines, you'll get a quest from Marlin to slay 10 slimes. Doing so will open up the Adventurers Guild for you, which can be found here, next to the mines. The Adventurers Guild is a place where you can buy weapons, but more importantly, it's also where you get rewarded for completing combat quests. Two such quests are killing 80 bugs and killing 1000 slimes. But Mo, I hear you cry, this is supposed to be a relaxing guide. Why are you talking about killing 1000 slimes? Bear with me, friends. Let me explain the significance of such a seemingly gargantuan task. Firstly, the 80 bugs. It's no secret that the sword you start off with in the game is, well, pretty rubbish. It's called the Rusty Sword after all. Every 10 floors you delve down the mines, apart from floor 30, you'll find a chest which will give you a weapon or some footwear to better improve your chances of survival. Not all the weapons are great, however. If you're looking for a good sword, in all honesty, you won't find one until level 90. What are you supposed to do in the meantime then? Well, I'll tell you what to do. Kill 80 bugs. This can be a standard bug, a cave fly, a grub, or any variation of the above. Once you kill 80 of them, head over to the Adventurers Guild to collect your reward, the Insect Head. Until you reach level 90 and get the Obsidian Edge Sword, this is arguably one of the best weapons to wield in the Pelican Town mines, and you can get it really early on, unlike other swords which you can only buy once you reach certain levels further down. Focusing on killing bugs in the early floors of the mines will really pay off once you get this weapon, as you'll find everything else so much easier to kill. Remember that when you've cleared a floor of the mines, you don't have to go down to the next level. You can just leave the mines and go back in again for the enemies to respawn. If you're up to the task, you can grind away at killing bugs, which shouldn't prove too difficult but will make your further mining endeavors a lot easier. Now let's talk about those 1000 slimes. Slimes in the game are really annoying, especially when they swarm you and jump on you. They debuff you, slowing you down when they hit you, and later level slimes require a lot of attacks to kill. May I make a suggestion here? Kill as many slimes as you can in the early levels. They are the easiest to dispatch, especially when you have the insect head. Any opportunity you have to kill them, go for it. You don't need to grind killing 1000 slimes, but try to kill all of them that you come across. Once you do get rid of 1000 of them, you'll get the Slime Charmer Ring. This makes you invincible to any slime of any difficulty. Walk right up to them and let them jump on you. It will do nothing. You will be the lord of the slimes, and nothing will stop you from farming them for all their precious loot. I don't expect you'll achieve this feat before you reach the bottom of the mines, but keep it in mind as something to do, because if you want the next part of your mining journey in Stardew to be as relaxed as possible, you're going to need it. As was the case with mining, each level you progress in combat will come with a perk and crafting recipes. For every level apart from levels 5 and 10, you will gain an additional 5 HP to your health bar. At levels 5 and 10 you can select a perk. Again, I won't tell you what to pick because it all depends on your playstyle, and you can read more about the perks on the Stardew Wiki. This should be enough information to get you through the Pelican Town mines. Remember that as you explore the mines you will find items that will help you on your journey. You can always check the wiki to see if the item is better or worse than what you already have. Some really useful things that you should look out for in case you stumble across them, buy them or craft them are various shoes that increase your defense, and glow and magnet rings which will help you see in the dark and make it easier to collect loot. The last item you should be on the lookout for is the fabled prismatic shard. It's quite rare to find in the Pelican Town mines, but not impossible. After you reach the bottom of the mines for the first time, there is a small chance that any monster will drop it. If you do come across one as you're grinding your combat and mining skills, keep it secret. Keep it safe. Whatever you do, do not donate your first one to the museum. You are going to need it for what lies ahead. Once you have reached the bottom of the Pelican Town mines, you're going to be keen to see what the game has in store for you next. If you don't want spoilers for areas beyond Pelican Town, I suggest you stop the video now and come back once you've progressed through more of the game. If you don't care, however, please carry on. If you're watching this part of the video, I'll assume you've successfully completed the Pelican Town and Quarry mines, you've unlocked the bus to the desert, and you are ready for the next challenge. Or you just don't care about spoilers and you like the sound of my voice. Either way, let's crack on. Once you've reached level 120 of the mines, you're going to be feeling pretty good about yourself. You'll have probably gone back through the mines, clearing it with relative ease for the most part. You're going to feel like you can take on anything. You're not alone in this. In fact, this level of hubris is felt by all Stardew players upon completing the Pelican Town mines. Trust Concerned Ape to put you back in your place. For you see, when you take the bus to the desert and use that skeleton key to unlock the entrance of the Skull Caverns, you will run out of there with your tail between your legs so fast it would put Sonic's personal best to shame. The Skull Caverns is nothing like anything you've experienced so far. The enemies are far more difficult, there are no elevators to the bottom to reach, and time is ever against you. On the plus side, however, the loot is highly desirable and necessary should you wish to progress the game further. Here you will find prismatic shards, iridium ores and bars, and much more besides. Needless to say, it becomes necessary to venture here if you want to keep playing Stardew Valley. But how can you do that while still remaining calm and not getting stressed out? Thankfully, I have some suggestions that just might help. Firstly, I would suggest ensuring you have reached level 10 in both combat and mining. Furthermore, if you've got a few star drops to your name, this will be greatly beneficial as your energy level will be increased significantly. You will have got at least one for reaching level 100 of the mines. Secondly, you will need at least a gold pickaxe to get started here, so if you've not upgraded to that, it's worth doing. These things will help you survive and mine for longer, and trust me, you will need all the help you can get. Remember earlier I mentioned the slime charmer ring you get from killing 1,000 slimes? If you don't have that ring by the time you go into the Skull Caverns, I strongly suggest you go back to the Pelican Town mines and go on a slime killing frenzy. In the Skull Caverns you'll find the new evolution of the slimes, the purple slimes, and these are much harder to kill than any you've come across so far. Furthermore, there are giant purple slimes that can then release multiple smaller slimes when killed. You will get swarmed by slimes a lot. Now you can run away, but purple slimes have a chance of dropping iridium ore and bars, the most precious metal in the game and one you'll need to upgrade your pickaxe to the highest quality. With the slime charmer ring on, however, you don't need to worry about them at all. Let them swarm you, safe in the knowledge that they cannot hurt you in the slightest as you slash your way to the valuable resources hidden within their slimy bellies. Speaking of slashing, another way to ensure a relatively calm demeanor in these caverns is by equipping yourself with the Galaxy Sword. If you don't already know how to get the Galaxy Sword, I'll give you a clue. You'll need the Prismatic Shard. You can check the rest out on the wiki. With the Galaxy Sword and the Slime Charmer Ring equipped, there are a few more things you'll need to make your delve into the Skull Caverns as stress-free as possible. Take some food and drink with you that buff your luck and speed. A great combination for this is spicy eel and coffee. Both give you a speed boost, which can stack, and the spicy eel gives you a luck buff. The luck is especially useful at finding ladders and shafts to get further down into the caverns. The further you go, the better the loot will be. So if you don't want to feel rushed to get to the better drops, increased luck is your friend. Another really useful item to keep in your inventory is bombs. Cherry bombs, and mega bombs will all prove vital as you venture through the caverns. For one, the mummies you come across can only be killed with bombs. You'll have to hit them first to take them down, but unless you blow them up, they will come back, so you'll want bombs around to do this. The other use for them is clearing a ton of rocks quickly to collect resources, find passages down, and save your energy. Running around with speed and luck buffs on and dropping bombs as you go is a very easy and stress-free of getting around the Skull Caverns. Talking of resources, you're going to find that you'll gather a lot in a very short space of time. So before you go adventuring in the Skull Caverns, make sure that you have all your bag upgrades from Pierre. Similar to the Pelican Town mines, you can place a chest at the entrance of the Skull Caverns should you need to deposit items and continue mining. Lastly, be sure to take some farm totems with you. Later on, you'll also be able to get desert warp totems that will allow you to get to the desert without needing to wait for the bus stop to open. But at the start, you should keep a farm totem with you each day, so as you explore you don't have to rush back early. Hopefully, following all of that will give you a better mining time in the Skull Caverns. If you haven't yet unlocked Ginger Island and don't want any spoilers, you can stop the video now. Otherwise, let's keep going. Once you've completed the community center or the Jojo route, again, no judgment here, you'll be able to unlock access to Ginger Island, an expanded area of the game introduced in the 1.5 update of Stardew Valley. Within Ginger Island is the Volcano Dungeon. These are 10 floors of fire monsters, and slimes, all trying their best to kill you as you attempt to reach the end, where you will find the Forge. The Forge can be used to make some pretty incredible things, including the most powerful sword in the game, so it's well worth getting to. But how are you going to do it without getting stressed out? Let me go through some of the helpful things you'll need to traverse the fiery domain that is the Volcano Dungeon. Firstly, you're going to need your watering can. You won't be able to get across the lava unless you have a bridge, and to start you'll need to create that bridge yourself every day by pouring water on the lava. If you have the Slime Charmer Ring, then the tiger slimes will pose no threat to you, so that's one thing you don't have to worry about. As for the fire monsters, the hotheads, the lava lurkers, and the sentries, well, this is where you're going to need speed, food, patience, and resolve. If you've ventured through the skull caverns and you've gotten used to the level of danger there, then you'll very likely be fine in the Volcano Dungeon. Sure, there are some different enemies, the magma sprites and magma sparkers are by far the most annoying, but if you don't rush too much and watch their attacks, you should be fine. Remember, you have the block ability on your sword, use it. Bombs are really helpful here in clearing a path. Unlike the previous mines, the various floors here are already presented to you with the doors you can see at the end of each room. Sometimes you can reach these easily. Other times you might need to create a bridge over the lava or push a series of buttons like these to make your way across. There are some pretty cool loot drops in the Volcano Dungeon that are unique to this area, so be sure to kill the enemies and break or explode the rocks to see what awesome things are hiding inside. I wouldn't recommend trying to clear all 10 rooms the first few times you go in. Take your time and get used to the place first. Go as far as you can and then head back. There is no quick way out of the dungeon like there is in the mine. There's no ladder up and out. You have to retrace your steps to get out until you reach the end. So carry a warp totem with you if you want to stay there till really late. The exception to this is when you give a parrot some golden walnuts to get you a special exit at floor 5. But just play it safe and take a totem with you in case. It will save you a lot of stress, and that's really what this video is all about. Once you reach the forge on floor 10, you can find a quick exit route that takes you back to the start. After you unlock that, you can quickly travel from the entrance to the forge. However, if you want the resources from the loot drops, you will still need to go through floor by floor. Well, there's my relaxed as possible guide to mining and combat in Stardew Valley. These tips come from my own personal experience, so if there's something you think I've missed or have a better suggestion to make things more relaxed, please comment below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch you again next time.